Morning. It's Friday, October 13th. That's right, Friday the 13th. And today I want to talk to you about Joe Biden, who has been paying attention to consumer needs in some fashion. And this particular example is the attack on what we call, or what they call, junk fees. Now, junk fees, in my mind, it's exactly what it is. You're getting charged for junk on some particular action or item or whatever it is. And I never really paid attention to the amount of junk fees that are out there in the universe, even though occasionally I have come across the situation. So Biden administration is now attacking the junk fees that take place all across the United States in all of the different industries that you could imagine. There is some type of junk fee. And I was thinking about this before I started the rant after I'm reading the material, and I'm thinking about an incident that just happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I have a bank account at Citibank, and I don't really use that account except it pays certain items without me taking any action. It's set up so that it automatically pays certain items, electric bills, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was paying. But anyhow, it was paying these bills. And so the account balance went below what Citibank considers an acceptable limit. And I get a long letter telling me that there's going to be monthly fees for this and a different amount of fees for that, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying, this is crazy. I'll be paying them $100 a month for nothing. They're not doing anything. It's just because they're allowing me to keep my money in the bank, and the interest rate is not great. It's not like I'm getting 5 or 6% interest. So in the light of that particular situation in my life, those are junk fees. Now, I solved that problem. I went into the bank and I said, what is this? Why am I being charged all of this nonsense? It hasn't gone into effect yet. And they explained to me what I could do about it. And the solution was very simple. I just had to put a couple $1,000s into the account so I brought the balance up above whatever their limit is, and the junk fees will disappear. So that's my personal example of junk fees. But then I go looking to see what other places have junk fees. And one of the things I looked at was ticket prices for an event. So let me give you this example. There's a concert that's taking place in Washington, D.C., and this took place in March of 2023. And the concert was being held at some theater somewhere, but the ticket prices you could buy from vendors, so to speak. So they have two different vendors. One was called the Seat Geek, and the other was called Vivid Seats. And they were selling the ticket price. And the price of the ticket was $87. But there was a service fee. And one of those prices, one of the service fees was $27, and the other company was charging $34 for the service fee. What kind of service fee could there be? You have a ticket. I buy a ticket. What is the service fee? And then on top of that, one of the companies is charging sales tax and delivery to send you the ticket. $9.38 to send you the ticket. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All you got to do is put it online and you could print it out yourself. And then there was a tax. The other company was charging just a plain old tax, a sales tax, $7.26. So the $87 ticket cost one guy $123.98, and the other person $128.26 because of the service fees, the junk fees. And then there was another example, right? Food delivery and something called drip pricing. Drip pricing exists on food delivery platforms. So with the mobile apps and everything, people are getting food delivered in some way, shape, or form. So they're getting charged these extra service fees. And then fees for exactly the same item, right? The base price from one company is $20.64. And then you got Uber Eats is one of these companies that you heard of. And then DoorDash is another company. And Grubhub is another company, right? And they have these prices where they got a base price and then service fee 1 and another service fee and a third service fee. And before you know it, a $15 item at Grubhub, right, costs you $20. And the same item at DoorDash costs you $21. And I can understand that. I can understand why companies have slightly different delivery fees or stuff like that. But there's a base price. They're telling you this thing is $17, and then you end up paying $24. And there's taxes, there's delivery fees, there's taxes, there's service fees. Imagine that. Imagine you go to the grocery store and you fill up your shopping cart. And then you come to the counter to pay for it. They charge you for taking it out of the cart. How about that for a service fee? Or they charge you for the amount of space that you use at the sales counter. Because when I go into the counter sometimes, if I have 2 little items in my hand, there's a person with a shopping cart in front of me who is delaying me from leaving the store. And they got the whole counter filled with food, and it takes the guy 10 minutes to ring it up. What if the food chain started charging you for the space you use up on the service counter? Or the time it takes you to check out? Imagine that. Well, that's what's happening in all of these events with the service fees. And I think Biden is doing a great job going after these ridiculous service fees. And I got to consider that a great job, considering everything else that is piled on his plate. This is a big plus for me, and a big plus for him if he gets the notoriety that he should get for doing this for the U.S. consumer. Do away with these damn service fees. Or at least, in order to make the competition easy, you have to know the price of the item when you sign up to get it. So if it's an $87 ticket with a bunch of service fees, you ought to know right up front that you're going to pay $125 for this ticket. And then maybe you won't use that organization. Maybe you'll just go to the theater and buy it online or something. So I leave you with that. The service fee ripoff in this country is being attacked by the government now. And it's about time. But I suspect that our company will figure out a way to get around this. Or maybe they'll just raise the price and they won't add anything that looks like a service fee. They'll just tell you it's on $25 for the ticket and they're done. Have a great day. Try to avoid being ripped off. Bye.